Hi and welcome to another Type with me. In today's video I want to talk about from TypeScript 6 to TypeScript 7, what's new and next. So if you know, TypeScript 6 actually builds upon TypeScript 5. It has the same kind of compiler. It's just a preparation actually to go for TypeScript 7. TypeScript 7 will be written in a new compiler, written in Go, right? So it's going to be a very big change, and for that they need to have TypeScript 6 so that they can make changes in TypeScript 7 for the Go compiler, change that in TypeScript 6 so that people can very easily move from TypeScript 5 to TypeScript 6, test things out there, and then go to TypeScript 7. TypeScript 6 has stricter typing, more inference, ECMAScript alignment, and eventually it will go to be faster and scalable when we arrive to TypeScript 7, right? So if you go to the website of TypeScript 6, you will see that, hey, today we are excited to announce the availability of TypeScript 6. Some days or weeks ago, 23rd of March, they announced TypeScript 6, and it's a big deal. So, like you see here, as part of our ongoing work on TypeScript native port, we introduced a new flag called stable type ordering, intended to assist with 6 to 7 migrations. And this is really the most important thing to know. Like 6 is the pathway to 7. So you need to migrate very easily, going from 6 then upwards to 7. Today, TypeScript assigns type IDs, internal tracking numbers, to types in the order they are encountering. And so this will then help actually to move much easier. For example, considering the declaration emit from this file, and then here you see we add an unrelated const above view, the declaration emits changes. So here you see then const x 500, and then here this outputs to this one, right? So another thing that you see here is one of the major architectural improvements in TypeScript 7 is a parallel type checking, which dramatically improves overall check time. However, parallelism introduces a new challenge. When different type checkers visit nodes, types, and symbols, different orders, the internal IDs assigned to those constructs become non-deterministic. So that's another big challenge, right? So we covered already one of the biggest things. 6 will help with migration towards 7. 7 is being written in Go, completely different, completely changing everything. It's going to make it faster by the parallelization that we saw lately, so that's a great thing. One of the other things that has been new is here the S, for example, S here. And then you will see that is less strict than when we have the satisfied. So here satisfied is more important to start using that here than the S perspective, so that you have button variant primary and secondary, where you can use this and this one much easier, so that it's been satisfied that we have here primary or secondary, and then we have here a string, right? Another thing that's very important is just use the inference of TypeScript. It's very important to use that actually, and to rely upon what TypeScript is doing. So here, for example, we have user, type of users with the number. So here, if we see type is user with the ID number and name string, so that you see here ID and name. And here we say type of users, and then here we say it's number. So actually it's going to interfere so that he uses right here this one. So if we here, for example, going to say gender, and then here we say female, then normally you see here that we have gender and then string, right? So the type inference here is gender and then string. So it's important to understand that and that to rely more and more upon it, right? Then here you will see that this one is also a very important one. So before it was very cumbersome. Before actually it looks like this a little bit. Here, this one, you have button props, and then here what you could say button props could be like this. But of course it's much better to just define it like this. We have here const button variance primary BG blue, secondary BG gray, and say here variance, and the variance could be a primary or secondary, and button props here would be then of variant, and the variance could then be here primary or secondary. And here we could say, hey, const styles is of the button variant. We have here primary and secondary, and we could get the background blue or background gray depending upon what we want, right? And then we render the button with the correct styles. So that's also a very important one. I think it's a nice pattern to learn and to understand a little bit, and I think will help writing better code. So the biggest benefit of this one actually is this. Types come from actual config. Next thing that's very important is that TypeScript is pushing towards more precise narrowing. So here, for example, you can do if type of value equals string, we do value dot uppercase, otherwise we do value dot to fix, because we know here, for example, it's number, and here that is a string. And here we say we can provide a string or a number. So if you narrow down really into the function, this will make it better, and future TypeScript versions will reward stricter handling. So you need to go and do stricter handling in your code itself, and that will be much, much better. Another thing that's important is we are always used to use any, but actually it's better to go for unknown. And also there, future TypeScript versions will reward people that are using unknown above any. So it's important to go for this kind of a pattern rather than using any. And if you can avoid any and unknown, that's just even better. I'm really excited about the pathway that TypeScript is going. I really am excited to see what TypeScript 7 and a faster runtime will mean for the TypeScript community, and how fast and we will have built or create the possibility to build, maintain, and run TypeScript applications and web applications. So this looks really, really good. I hope you also think of that, and that you also think that this is a really good way into the right direction. Let your thoughts be in the comments below. That would be really, really nice, so that of course we can see and look together what everybody is thinking about this new way that TypeScript is going for. So thank you very much. I hope you liked it, and see you in the next one.